PharmaPhobic is powered by Achieve the Lifestyle, a company dedicated to helping you empower your health, redefine your lifestyle, and all for the health of it. You're listening to PharmaPhobic, where we challenge the state of health in America. I'm Janie, a physician assistant, and I've seen how healthcare keeps people dependent instead of truly healthy.
And I'm Dan, a veteran turned fitness pro here to uncover the truth and explore simple and sustainable health solutions. From big pharma to big food, we're exposing the conflicts of interest keeping us sick and finding better ways to take back our health.
No fluff, no gimmicks, just real talk, real solutions, and a little bit of fun along the way.
Hello there. Welcome to another episode of PharmaPhobic, where we help you become the strongest, healthiest, and most capable version of yourself. This is brought to you by Achieve the Lifestyle. And as always, I'm here with my lovely co-host, special guest.
Always so awkward. How am I a special guest?
Because you're special in my life. Miss Janie Wilkinson, how are you doing today?
Maiden name.
Oh, sorry, Janie Brown. How are you doing today?
Are you trying to say something?
I made a mistake. It's early. Okay, it's early in the morning. Caffeine hasn't kicked in yet. How are you doing, man?
Questionable now. I'm great.
Well, guys, today we have a return, the first returning guest
That's cool.
to the PharmaPhobic podcast, Mr. Jake Engelen. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, doing good. How are you guys?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
We've been,
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. So episode 29, I believe, was when you made your first appearance, and we talked a whole lot about farming and how that is the soil quality and all that stuff and how that affects your life. And we're gonna get into some of that today as well. How you been, man?
Good, man. Just farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I see the
lot of
farm's
farming.
growing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
been
doing good
expanding.
right now. Yeah.
Did you like double your chickens or something?
Oh, maybe more than that since the last time I saw
wow.
you. Yeah.
Really?
And the sheep and the bees. Yeah.
Holy
Any
crap.
new animals?
No.
No?
No new animals right now.
And what are you hearing? Like what do you think made that explosion? Like, is it word of mouth or more people are getting interested in regenerative stuff?
Yeah, I think there's definitely an educational shift.
Mhm.
And then I don't know what the date is, to be honest with you, but whenever the RFK and the Maha stuff came, I feel it was like a big push at the farm. And then
Some more awareness.
yeah, a lot more awareness, I think.
I think that's because they do talk about it. I think everybody, when I drop the word, they know what it is.
Sure.
I think I had an older person ask me yesterday, and then when I explained to her, I was like, well, basically the way your grandfather used to farm. And she's like, oh, yeah. I know what that is, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Then the whole Vital Farms thing too.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that on an episode.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So like that kind of helped us out. Just because the farm's transparent, right? Like you can come there, you can see where the chickens lay. There is no indoors for them to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say they're pasture raised, you can come to my farm and see that they are in pasture.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else for them to go except for pasture. So that was like an odd indirect marketing thing for us because everyone used to come and say, I gave 2 years of my money to Vital Farms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And that, that's how we shaped the conversation. It was one of my clients, and she's 70. And I explained to her, she's like, man, I buy those eggs all the time. And she's like, yeah, I didn't know that. That kind of framed the conversation. I feel like that shook some people's worlds because you're over there reaching for the top shelf eggs that probably don't really belong in the top shelf. They're like bottom shelf eggs, but they're selling them to you, making you pay like they're top shelf stuff. Isn't that crazy?
everything's a lie.
Yeah, I agree.
You walk into a grocery store and it is
Yes.
a lie, right? You see a happy chicken and some grass on an egg package and it says pasture raised, and
It like put 1 foot out on grass and they're like pasture raised.
Well, they, I remember when organic, like I've been around long enough to remember when organic was organic. Like it was like, yep, this came from a farm up the street.
and natural and
Yep.
grass fed, grass finished.
Yep.
They just hijack them all for marketing, right?
Little by little,
Yeah.
all of them. So
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time before regenerative becomes.
I think it
best.
already has been.
You think it already?
Yeah,
has
there's
been
already
hijacked?
like stuff you can pay for to get regenerative stamp. You know?
Oh, no.
So
I hate that. It's like,
I didn't know we were there. I
no, we're
knew it
already
was
there. We're
coming,
already
but
there.
I didn't
Yeah.
know we were there.
Yeah.
I thought that was like the biggest disappointment when I realized that labels like regenerative or organic, or even like the just because this may be more easier for people to grasp, but the little blue check mark on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
You
can
don't
pay
have
for
to
it.
earn any of that. You just
Yeah.
have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Man, they bastardized
Yeah.
regenerative already. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know we were there.
You know, a really forward thinker, Joel Salatin, he's probably, if there's a famous farmer, it would be him and Will Harris and these guys. And I think him and his team coined a term called beyond labels.
oh,
So they just don't do any labeling
Yeah.
at all because they know it's going to get hijacked.
It's gonna get hijacked.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, because if you shop local, like we get sourdough bread from Seacrest Sourdough.
Yeah.
So it's right up on Seacrest. And there's no labels on that at all.
Yep.
You know,
And
besides
that
just
bread is phenomenal,
their
too.
logo. That's it. And I think your eggs that we've had, no labels at all.
No.
Not even a logo.
I'd just rather like an educated consumer base come
Yeah.
to my farm and just look with your own eyes. And if you want to read my feed labels that I feed the chickens, there's no corn, no soy, all non-GMO, right? You can check out Reseca Sun. It's an awesome feedery out of Georgia. I know the guys at White Oaks use Reseca. They do all sorts of testing, you know, for chemicals on their feed. So you can do your own research and come to my farm. And if you find a better practice or better standard, let me know and I will look into it and try and implement it.
Yeah.
You know
That
what I mean?
feed that you feed your chickens, is that pricier than like what you'd get at like
Oh yeah.
Tractor Supply or something for a feed?
Yeah.
And is that, and so the better quality, yeah, okay, never mind.
I mean, it's
obvious.
like you're gonna pay more
Yeah.
for
It's
the
like
better quality stuff.
Pea, sorghum,
Mhm.
fish meal, salt, and some vitamins,
Nice.
and then pasture and bugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's in the mix.
Okay.
And it gives you a better quality egg. And you could
Yeah.
tell too. Like I was explaining to my client, you know, I'm like, okay, when you crack this egg, then those yolks come in and then obviously it has a different color, even though Vital Farms figured out how to get a better colored yolk, right? But when I start beating the eggs and trying to scramble, I'm like, oh, that yolk is like thick, you know? And I'm like, there's your difference right there.
Yeah.
You can always tell.
Yeah.
And then taste, of course, if you get you're used to highly conventional eggs and then you have a farm egg, it's a different
Right.
experience out
Right.
there. Funny enough, that Vital Farms started out, like I remember when I moved to Austin, 2012, I always tell this story, and I was at HEB, which is the Publix version of Texas. And I see these eggs and they're like from a farm up the street in Austin. Like they were a one pasture farm in Austin and the eggs were like $2.50 back then. And nobody was buying them. Everybody's buying the regular stuff. I'm like, what are these eggs? So I just started buying the Vital Farm stuff. They were cheap. And I was like, oh, they're phenomenal. And now freaking big money comes in, scoops them up for like $1 billion. And there you go. Your eggs are no longer what they used to be.
Well, yeah. I mean, public companies have an economic incentive to their shareholders, right? So
By law, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So-
is their first
yeah.
responsibility, is to make money for the shareholder.
So they're incentivized in order to cut corners and use marketing and things like this. So maybe that should become illegal in at least food products.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, well, then we got to talk about pharmaceuticals as well. But the fact that your first decree by law is to make money for these select group of people is wild to me. Who legislated that? How that got passed? I have no idea. And people out there that are like, nah, that can't be. Okay, look it up. Just look it up. You know, put it in AI. You put everything in AI today, so let it
You
tell
gotta be careful though, because AI won't tell you the truth. It tells you truth within its own parameters from the powers that be. And the powers that be, I guarantee you, don't want you to know all the truth.
Yep. I mean, and this is open, like all legislation is open source information, right? Like you can go on the congressional website and look these things up and it'll see like, yep, this passed on this day. That companies, their first responsibility is to the shareholder.
But then it's the power of influence, right? Because you think about like the moms back in the 80s and 90s raising stink about red dye because it was public information. They could see it and people are like, oh, these crunchy moms are crazy, all this stuff. The people who they don't want to vaccinate their kids, MMR vaccine, and people are like, they're crazy, they're going against the science, but they see truths, right? They
Yeah.
see information. And so now, especially with social media, I think that more and more things are becoming known, like regenerative farming and stuff like that. The problem is we have to weed out what's true and what's false,
Yep.
which is very hard. But one thing about the awareness is now there's some accounts that are putting up the nutritional profile or the additives in eggs, and Vital Farms was a huge one. But also Dan and I saw one of bread, and the amount of, was it glyphosate in the bread, or was it
glyphosate,
something
right?
else?
Yeah,
The
it's
parts per
insane.
million
Yeah.
of glyphosate in most bread
And
things
one
like
of
that.
the biggest ones was Wonder Bread, which growing up in the Midwest, I don't know anybody who didn't eat Wonder Bread, right? But the one that really surprised me was
Dave's Killer Bread.
Dave's Killer Bread and Nature Made,
Oh, Nature's Own.
Nature's Own.
Yeah.
Purely because the name would draw you to be like, oh, this is more natural, right? It's nature made, right?
Yeah, that is the hijacking, and this isn't a tirade and isn't a rant against capitalism, because I fully believe that what we're seeing out there in the scape, is not capitalism. It's monopolies, it's controlled interest. If it were truly capitalistic ventures, and we would have thousands on thousands of little farms like yours, putting out their product, and then the best would win out, right? We wouldn't be stomping little farms out to make these big mega farms controlled by 2 or 3 companies, right? It's the total opposite of what capitalism actually is. But with that in mind, when things go public and you bring in a board and shareholders and all this stuff, 10 out of 10, things tend to suffer, and they're never the original version of itself.
Sure.
So now you think that's making its way into regenerative? Like, is that something?
I don't know if we're there yet. I'm not exactly sure. I kind of live in my bubble on the farm. And I think as a people, we've gotten away from community. So I tend to just focus on that. Not that these bigger issues aren't important. They definitely are. I'm just not sure what I can do about it on my little farm. Not that I want to give up the fight. I'm just not sure I'm the guy to fight the big fight with these people.
What was the thing we talked about a little bit ago? They recently put money into regenerative farming. McDonald's
We'll get there.
did,
Yeah, it was
or-
McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll put that at the bottom, at the back.
Oh, they
end of
all
the
did. Domino did.
Domino?
Domino's?
Domino's a sugar company?
Oh,
No,
they
Dom,
put
I
money
just
into
say Domino's.
regenerative?
They have a massive regenerative farm here in Florida.
Oh,
I talked to the guy that runs their soil. They actually have some really educated people in it, which is cool to see, but they're also doing, if they have 150,000 acres of sugarcane in Florida, they're doing 1,000 acres of regenerative farming.
Gotcha.
Probably for some kind of marketing ploy, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But at least they're doing it. I don't
Yeah.
know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's at least there's, if we can get more of it, then I'm an optimist,
Yeah.
Not that I think it's going to change much.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So let's go backwards. Let's go, and then we'll come back to this modern day of farming conversation. I think a lot of what we want to, with this platform, right? We've had your second veteran we've had on. We got another one coming, a exercise scientist, another devil dog.
Nice.
But I think what I want, the message that I want to put out to people there to part, with all this health awareness and all this stuff, is also, growth, right? And evolving and different stages of life where you might be doing something now and then you end up doing something completely different. And what's interesting to me is how this thing that you were doing that had nothing to do with what you do now, but it almost shapes the way you do certain things and why you can do certain things at a different level, right? They call that transcend and include, where you I'm not the person I was back here, but the skills, whatever lessons I learned there shape who I am now and help me
You
along
said
the way.
transcend and include?
Yeah, transcend. So you outgrew those past experiences, but you include them in what you're doing now.
Sure.
So obviously for you, you're a military guy, and then you went and did Wall Street type stuff, and now you're farming. And if you put those three together, those are like three completely different paths, but
They're not.
they're not,
They're not
you
at
know,
all.
Right.
and
Yeah.
they kind of shape. So going back to it, I think what made you join the Marine Corps? What happened in your life that you said, you know what? I think the military is going to be the way. Especially, I think you said last time, you didn't have any military family members.
No. I was kind of a wild kid, and I needed some structure. I think I knew I needed some structure. Like my stepdad was an alcoholic. My dad died in prison. So yeah, I think that's probably it. But going back to what you were saying, I think in hindsight, everything in my life geared me towards this, where I am my most fulfilled. But I had to do all of that stuff in order to get to this place.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that works for everybody else's life, but if you think about where you're sitting right now, all of these things that are seemingly not interconnected make perfect sense. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I needed some financial acumen in order to start a small business. I needed some work ethic from the Marine Corps in order to have the work ethic for the farm. And I also needed some uncomfortability. Like I don't have hot water, you know, and I just take it. I don't, it doesn't even register in my mind. But I also didn't have any hot water or any shower my first deployment, right? So relative to that, I'm actually like living real comfortable, right? And you can argue on a deployment, you're living well below the poverty line, right?
Especially the Marines.
Yeah.
You guys rough it.
Yeah. We roughed it. Yeah. So now anything relative to that is like pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So being outside all day, I'm used to. So all of it geared me towards doing this. And now I have like I don't want to sound arrogant here, but like a complete package in order to do this well. Like I don't feel like there's too many things that come up on the farm that I can't tackle.
Yeah. That's a good
the
mindset.
thing I'm learning the most, and I maybe got this from the Marine Corps as well, is to really tackle issues with whatever you have. And I learned that in the Marine Corps. You get nothing. Like my first M16, my first deployment was like blue, and it was probably like a Vietnam era.
Dang.
Right. So then to build to build a I don't know, an animal enclosure with like shanty fence and things, no problem. No problem, because I've done it so many times. And I didn't really realize this. You know, I got out of the Marine Corps and I was trying to figure out what to put on a resume for Wall Street. Like, I don't disassemble a 240 in under a minute. You know, like what am I gonna put, right? So instead, I tried to think about
in high
it.
pressure situations.
Yes, this is exactly what I put, right? Like the ability to think in high pressure situations, which is a perfect example. But it wasn't until I was like a year into the farm that I realized how much I learned from that. And yeah, life works in a funny way like this. I forgot what the phrase was. Something
Transcend and include.
Transcend and include. Yeah, it's almost perfect. It's like life. If you search for it, it's really just teaching you the whole way. And then if you chase your passion, you will be ready for whatever that is. But I had to go through like 33 years of life in order to get here. If I started in my 20s, I don't think I would have made it.
Yep.
Because I don't have the right life experience in order to make it successful.
Yeah, and you also, as you get older, you learn the wield, right? The lesson that you learned. Because you could have it in the backpack, but you don't know how to apply it yet, which I think that's what's happening with me now in my 40s, where I'm like, oh, I'm experiencing the most success I've ever experienced, and I'm working my ass off. But, you know, it's also, I think about it as like, man, if this had come 10 years earlier, I probably wouldn't know how to handle it, right? Or even 15 years or before, I probably wouldn't know how to handle it, even though the lessons that I'm applying now, I probably took that bruise when I in my 20s. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I just didn't know how to use it. So that's something that I think about a lot. Now, you what year did you join?
09.
09? Did your mom have a fit when you told her you were going in the Corps?
100%.
She had a... Because I mean, that's the height. That's like the surge.
Yeah,
that's the height of war.
That was the push. Yeah.
So,
and I was an infantry,
oh my God,
an infantry guy. Yeah.
And then it was completely foreign to her too. Yeah. Where'd you go to basic? You go to Paris or did you go to West
San
Coast?
Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
How was that? How was it like you having no reference in your family for military? Did you watch documentaries or anything like that?
Yeah, there's one called Ears Open, Eyeballs Click. Yeah, I watched it. I'm not sure anything can prepare you for it. You just kind of do it and suck it up.
I have to give it to you guys. I think Marine Corps boot camp is the drill sergeants drill instructors are wild. They're probably the funniest people
They
in
were
the
wild.
entire
The funniest
military.
people ever. The funniest.
They all have these crazy voices because they yell so much too. Like the Army drill sergeants, they'll lose their voice a little bit, but they don't have it. Your guys are all like,
the Marine Corps is a wild place.
I
It's like a corporation just set up to invade countries, you know?
yeah.
It's wild.
So how are drill instructors different than drill sergeants?
I don't know. They wear their Bs more. They
Wear their what?
They're class Bs. Like they're always in like little dress uniforms with the short sleeves and stuff, and they're pressed to the nines. These guys, I don't know what you guys do to tuck your shirt in that way too.
Shirt stays to your sock.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe
there
it's,
you go.
Tight. I'm gonna get
maybe
you some
it's
shirt
a,
stays. You need some of those in your life.
I mean,
Maybe
it
the
doesn't have a
secret-
single scroungy.
The secret all along is it's a unitard, right? Like the
Yes.
girls wear.
Yes.
It
Ah, they
just
might
snaps
be
at the
there.
crotch,
Yeah,
so it just stays
100%.
down.
I mean, I'm talking tucked. They might be there. I'm talking tucked. And then I know like the body composition standards in the Marine Corps are a little bit different.
They're more-
Culturally speaking.
They're more strict than the.
Yeah. They're way harsher than any other service for sure. Like I remember, I told you my first deployment, we were a minority. I was with all Marines. And the guys that I would work out with, they would be like, they just talk about other guys, be like, man, he's a fat Marine. And I'm like, that was like a thing.
It's like he has a body fat percentage of 18.
Yeah, it's like, bro, this guy, 15% body fat out here, fat Marine. I'm just like, damn, you guys that's harsh, man. That guy is barely like in the Army, he's good to go.
It's like
and in the
general
Air Force,
population doesn't know body shaming.
no, oh yeah, exactly. No, it's hilarious. So it's like higher standards. Now was that a bucket of cold water? How old were you? 18?
yeah,
How was that like?
19.
What was that like to you? It's a harsh culture, man.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I don't know. You get used to it. They just
Yeah.
break you down at boot camp. Boot camp was easy compared to School of Infantry. And then School of Infantry was super easy compared to hitting the fleet. Like I had a bunch of Iraq vets that were my seniors.
Yeah.
So I thought all that was bad. And then you're not a human when you hit the fleet. You know?
Where was your first unit? Was it North Carolina or was it
Hawaii.
no Hawaii?
Yeah, it was
You went to-
3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines.
Nice.
It was nice.
How was that?
It was awesome. I hiked a lot and kayaked a lot.
Nice.
What is it, Kailua? You guys are?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice area.
K-Bay.
Yeah.
Connie
Army
Bay.
had the crappiest place in Hawaii, which is over there where Schofield is at.
Bellows? Oh, Schofield. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, it's close to North Shore, but it's not out of all the bay. Like
Yeah,
Kailua
yeah.
Bay is amazing.
No, ours was awesome.
Where the Air Force is at is amazing. And then the Army is like over here in this corner.
The
Like,
Air Force is always amazing,
yeah,
right?
yes, they are. They always get the best spot, but they don't get the glory.
Okay.
They don't tuck in their shirts like the Marines.
Gotcha.
So what did you take from that, like being received from all these crazy veterans? I mean, back then it was so hot too. Like you probably had guys that went to Fallujah and things like that.
There were no like hazing laws, right? Can I cuss on here? Just get the dog shit hazed out of you,
Yeah.
Mhm.
until you go to your first deployment and then you come back as a senior and then do it to your guys. So,
Pass it on.
yeah. But I oddly, after my first deployment, I understood. I was like, I wish it was more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But at the time I was like, I can't live like this. This
Yeah.
isn't a normal existence.
Yeah. So
But then I
hazing-
realized it like, man, I wish I would have been pushed harder.
Yeah. So
you know?
almost like those hectic, crazy, quote unquote abuse, but in a controlled setting. Whereas then you go over and it's not in a controlled setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I was deployed my first time, we were having conversations, right? Like, command battalion level stuff where you bring in all the officers about the kinder, gentler way of like treating soldiers and stuff. And I remember I said something, I was like a second lieutenant and I thought I knew everything, but I was kind of right. Probably not the right way to say it when I said it, but I was kind of right. I was like, why are we worried about this PC way of like dealing with soldiers and stuff? But look at where we're at.
Yeah.
Like we're coming to one of the harshest environments that man could ever enter, which is war in this crazy desert. And you're worried about the PC stuff? What is PC about combat, right?
Yeah, nothing.
Exactly. So when you say you're like, you got roughed around, but then you went downrange and then you're like, oh no, we needed that,
Yeah.
you know,
Even more of it.
even more of it,
Yeah.
right? Where'd you guys go first?
We went to Nawa, which bordered Marja, at a place called 5 Points.
Okay. So times you went to Afghanistan.
Yeah, and then I went to Garmsir.
Okay.
The
Where's
set in
Garmsir?
2012. It's in Helmand province, kind of in the middle of the country.
Hot area, highly contested.
Yeah, it was no man's land in Nawa and Trek Nawa when we were there.
Mhm.
So they did like a bunch of. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't an AO,
Mhm.
so we just ended up clearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys went to do clearing ops there.
Yeah, first recon goes in and like does some route recon for us, so
Mhm.
we just don't get blown up on every road.
That's
And
nice.
then they started getting fucked up, so then we just started clearing it. Yeah, we ran like full blown like battalion wide clearing operations through Trek Nawa. Yeah.
Helmand's a little flatter, right? Or is it very mountainous?
No, it's like the green zone. Yeah, you're right. It's like pretty flat.
Okay.
It was like 2-dimensional, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have to worry about any mountains or anything like that,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Southern Afghanistan.
which is a blessing. I'm good on the mountains.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and like
all those
fighting
guys in
uphill and
Kandahar
down-
and all
yeah.
that. Yeah, like I'm good, dude. I'm good. I'd just rather farm, you know.
Did you you get a bucket of cold water out there? Like any experiences that just opened your eyes wide that you're like, man, this is another level of stuff here.
Oh, I mean, a lot. Yeah. I mean, all the combat, obviously. And then just the way in which people were living over there.
Mhm.
And I saw some similarities, which was odd. Like a lot of those guys are farmers.
Mhm.
I don't agree with like the way in which they, live their life and own women and things like this, right?
Mhm.
But in general, they want to like farm and pray to their God and kind of be left alone. And they're in an unfortunate position where like Taliban come with guns or we come with guns and then kind of dictate things.
Mhm.
And a lot of them were like super nice, you know. I would like raid their house and they would invite me in for tea afterwards, you know. I'd go in with an interpreter. They'd be like, hey man, like I don't have anything here. I just like farm my stuff, you know. It's like I think about it from my perspective now. If like a bunch of 18-year-old kids came to my farm with guns, it would be fucking war.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going to tell me to get outside my house.
Yeah.
That's impossible. You know,
I think
that's impossible.
I think a lot of veterans are having that realization.
Yeah,
where you're
100%, man.
Yeah, we might have been pissing in
Yeah,
people's
dude,
Cheerios,
like,
you know?
What are we doing out there? But not that, I mean, it's a life experience that taught me a lot about myself, so I don't regret it. It's just like, I think about some of those actions.
Yeah,
And then think about if that happened to me.
Yeah, in your
Yeah.
country. Yeah, I think
In
we
your
can-
country, dude, this is great.
Yeah, I think you
know?
could take it and be like, okay, you know, this was kind of messed up, but kind of cool at the same time. And it helped me, you know, become the person I am
Sure.
today. But we did some stuff that was questionable, you know, and did we really need to be there? Like all these questions come
Right.
to mind. And I think that shows maturity, that you're willing to question things that deeply, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not
100%.
remaining in ignorance where I think some people are like, F them, we're better, doesn't matter. You know, they don't try to look at it from, like you said, from the other person's point of view.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a lot of the people that keep that mindset probably didn't set foot over there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
my
or
opinion.
or they
Yeah.
did and they can't handle maybe a little bit of guilt or maybe a little bit of like, maybe that was wrong. Some
Mhm.
people can't handle that. And so they go hard on
You're right.
F them, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson talks about this, right?
Mhm.
Like you don't want to see like the monster in yourself. And if you
Yeah.
don't face it, you're going to have this turmoil your whole life. So
Yeah, I mean, we see that a lot right now where people with the current political whatever of this country, we're so polarized because, and on both sides, some people don't want to look at, well, what are they trying to say? Trying to understand what could I possibly be misunderstanding or doing wrong?
Mhm.
They're unwilling, which is why people stay so divided. So,
this is a good segue. I've been thinking about that a lot recently. And I hate the polarization in this country. And
Yeah.
I think by and large, most people are moderate
Mhm.
and they're not actually on each side, even though they claim to be.
Yep.
It has to be we the people against the fucking government.
I think there's
It
no
has to be. We have to start coming together. We have to. I don't care what you do in your house. I don't have to agree with it,
Mhm.
but I don't care,
Yeah.
right? Just like you shouldn't care what I do on my farm, right? Let's at least like agree to live in that kind of place, because you're going to have different opinions in human beings across the board. So we might as well all just get along and accept it. And we don't all have to be on the same side. Not 350 million people. That's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But the government does such a good job to divide the people.
Mm-hmm.
And we never, it's so rare that we come together against the government. And I think, I'm not talking about an uprising or a revolution here. I just think we would do ourselves better to not argue amongst each other and get together and hammer the government.
You know,
Yeah.
I also, a lot of people bring this to light because they're like, okay, you get on social media, which is not reality, and you start seeing all these people going back and forth, or maybe these videos of people at each other's necks in Minneapolis or something, or LA or wherever. And then you're like, man, it's going down. But then you leave your house and you go to the grocery store and everyone's like, hey, good morning. How you doing today? And people are walking their dogs and chilling.
Yeah.
I'm going to the gym today. What are you doing? I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go to the beach, you know? And you're like, oh, I guess we're not at each other's necks. And the whole thing is that there's, you know, some of it is perceived division and some of it is very, very manufactured by the powers that be or whoever it is up there, you know, Satan, whatever. They're just manufacturing that division as well, so that in our minds we're almost defensively, we're defensive and we're ready to clash with people, which makes us all, it makes it more likely to happen, right?
Yeah.
But that's where I land too. I think it's we the people. Nobody, a lot of these people in the government, even the ones that say the stuff you like, are going to disappoint you.
100%.
Yeah.
They're going to disappoint you. You know what I mean? Even, my guys are in power now, and they're gonna disappoint you.
And now let's take a quick break. Have you heard about collagen and how amazing it is for your skin, hair, nails, digestion, and joints, but have no clue which one to choose? I've been there. A few years ago, I stumbled upon Bubs Naturals, and let me tell you, I've been hooked ever since. Here's why I swear by them. Bubs Naturals keeps their quality standards sky high from the start to finish. Their collagen blends perfectly in coffee, or really any other beverage you love. Plus, they've got convenient to-go packs so you can stay on track wherever life takes you. And it doesn't stop there. They'll donate 10% of all of their proceeds to charities that support veterans. How awesome is that? Oh, and they've leveled up their electrolytes too. The mixed berry, that's my absolute favorite. It's light, refreshing, and not overly sweet. What sealed the deal for me? Their electrolytes are NSF certified, made right here in the USA, and just like their collagen, every purchase helps give back. So do your body a favor, head to bubnaturals.com and use my code JANE20 at checkout for 20% off every time you order. Tired of looking like you lost a fight with a powdered donut every time you work out? Yeah, I was too. That's why I ditched the messy chalk and switched to Chalkless. Chalkless is a new, clean, residue-free grip enhancer that goes on in seconds and lasts for hours. No clouds, no cleanup, just a rock-solid grip. Whether you're crushing it in the gym, dominating on the pickleball court, or hanging on a rock face like Spider-Man, Chalkless has your back. I even hit my 350-pound deadlift PR at Summer Strong using Chalkless. Locked in, zero slip, total confidence. Ready to level up your grip game? Head over to chalkless.com and use code JaneBrown to snag 10% off your order.
You know, it never happens that everybody's like fully satisfied with what the government's doing. And maybe at one point they're doing some stuff that you're like, oh, that's good stuff. But over here, they're doing stuff that you're like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's just this march. Slow. Sometimes it happens quicker. Sometimes it happens a little bit slower, but it's this march towards almost this totalitarian control type of system, you know, this utopia to some, but really dystopian type of situation where the people are just under complete control, you know?
And I think the polarization is on purpose.
It is on purpose.
But I think most people, when they think of propaganda, you think of like World War II. Right? You think of, the flyers are being put down and this is all we're being shown, or it's on TV. They're showing us things that we should be seeing, but we have the internet now, so we can see all truths, false, because they control what you see. And it's just, I think we're being fed propaganda that we're unaware of.
Yeah.
Even and it's a good point, right? Because divided people. So I think it's a multi-pronged thing. Divided populations obviously are too busy fighting each other to know what's being perpetrated on them.
Anytime
on
in
all of them.
history, when has a group of people, country, community, whatever, tribe, who is fighting amongst themselves,
Been able to fight an external enemy.
yeah, and not be taken over?
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Have you guys read a book called Tribe by Sebastian Unger?
Haven't read Tribe yet.
Big recommendation for all of your listeners.
I just bought the book, We Are the Bad Guys.
Okay. So yeah, Tribe details this very well about how we are tribal people.
Yeah.
And it essentially goes into how left and right came about from a tribal perspective. So for instance, if you leave your post at war, this is still punishable by death because you aren't contributing to the community, right?
Yep.
So if you were leaving a defensive post at night or whenever, or you fall asleep, right? So there's one side of the coin that is like you have to contribute to the tribe in order for the tribe to survive. And there's the other side of the coin that says we should take care of the sick and the elderly, right? Even though that they can't contribute. So this is essentially left and right politics from a tribal. Fast forward that from, so we are still tribal people,
Yeah.
you know, but all the tribes that banded together did well.
Yeah.
You know, like when England united, and I don't know what, 900 or whenever they did that. Wessex, right?
No. It makes
The
sense.
UAE.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of tribes that came together.
And they
There you
put
go.
away years, generations of conflict to come together.
So we should do that in the United States.
Yeah.
Against the government. I have a quick story about, I'm unfortunately the past year gotten like heavily politically involved due to all of the government oversight in farming, unfortunately. But the new farm is in I have the lease on a large plot of land and it's in the middle of a big development deal. And I don't want to say names because I now work with these people, but I was in a development deal and behind closed doors, there were some yeses from some politicians, right? And the next meeting was with the people opposing that. So what do you think that politician told those people? Also a yes. So they're looking at me and saying yes. They're looking at the developers and saying yes. Then they're also telling the people, right? Because it's a popularity problem. So I always try and think about these issues, especially political issues, on like what's the base level problem? And it's the way in which our politics is even devised with this like popularity contest, right? So you just tell everyone yes, it's super convoluted, and then you get voted back in, and then whatever the outcome is, it doesn't matter, and one side gets fucked.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when I saw it firsthand on a local level, I was like, these people are the devil, you know?
Yeah.
Like these are reptilian people.
And
They bask in the sun. They don't eat food. For sure they eat babies, you know, like 100%.
And that is at a very low level. Like the
Super low
stakes
level.
Are
Yeah,
not
like
high.
I'm a,
This is county.
I have a shitty
and
little farm in Delray.
It's not even
Yeah, was
state
it-
level. Are these state level people or are these
Yeah.
just county officials?
I can't.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I
federal.
work with these people.
It was
and-
local.
yeah, but it
was
it-
local. It was local.
It's local politics.
Yeah.
This isn't even.
So think about how bad it is at the federal level.
Oh, yeah,
and what
yeah,
we're getting
Exactly.
told by whoever.
Yeah.
By
Well,
whoever.
you know,
Like
you
what's
was-
going on behind closed doors? How many yeses are there to the glyphosate companies? How many yeses are there to the farmers? Here's $750 million to Regenerative Farms. $750 million on the U.S. budget, GDP.
Yeah.
Is this a joke? And everyone's like, look how good it is. Like what?
Yeah.
A billionaire gives you $10? This is
Yeah.
a joke.
Yeah.
This is like,
Yeah.
so it's all a mask. This is why I just live in the bubble because I can't do this too much. You know?
Yeah.
I commend you guys for bringing all these issues to the public,
Yeah.
by the
Well,
way, because
you
you guys
know-
are very good at it.
I think, man,
I would crack.
it's if we're gonna bring health and we just have to talk about dark stuff.
Sure.
I can't sit here and tell you to eat better and live better and work out and, you know, get to sleep on time and all this stuff without being like, hey, the circumstances are dire. Like we have to frame the totality of the problem so that you realize just how serious this is. And anybody who lives out there in the ignorance is bliss mentality, I mean, you probably are just you're not part of our tribe, right? So that's fine if that's how you want to live, whatever. I just don't want you to, you know, later in life, you're 60 years old and you have this whole host of ailments and you're like, oh,
Sure,
it's
sure.
genetic. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're seeing that
Bad
with-
luck. And it's like, no, brother. You fell victim to this,
Sure.
right? And we have to frame the problem. It starts with things like that. When you realize that people of lower moral fiber are in positions to dictate what goes and what doesn't go, right? And then other people of low moral fiber are buying up stuff, making backdoor deals to screw good initiatives over, and that sort of thing. And all of that affects your quality of life. Everybody's quality of life, right? That's how it goes. And it goes back to what you're saying. It's we, the people, the everyday person that gets affected by all this stuff. So we should share that in common, especially with health stuff. This should not be political.
100%.
It should be a,
100%.
hey, this is for everybody type of thing.
This is how America started.
Yeah.
They banded the states together and fought the British.
Yep.
And now we are here.
Yep.
You know?
And I think, when people look at stuff like regenerative, because of the price tag of it, people are like, oh, this is only for rich people and that sort of thing. Where when I look at it, my mind is going to, how do we increase access to this without violating the principle of it? Make sense? That's the problem that we should be solving. This is no doubt better. So how do we get more people to participate in this? You know what I mean?
It could be done at scale for a cheaper price.
Yeah.
It could be done.
That's what I think.
I mean, I only match organic at like Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a higher quality end product, but at least make it accessible. I'm not saying everybody can afford organic at Whole Foods, but if I wanted to, I don't know, they're selling regenerative eggs at Loxahatchee Farmers Market for like $17 a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
I just match Vital. It's a better end product for the same price.
Yeah.
At least to try and make it accessible.
Yep.
While still trying to expand the farm. If I could expand, I could do it way cheaper, but
yeah, and that's the whole
powers
thing,
that be
right?
just
Yep.
hammer me.
They're pissing on it because they don't want people to have high quality food, highly accessible. And then, God forbid, you eat too many of these coastal pasture eggs. And then next thing you know, you're thinking for yourself. Your brain's firing better because you're getting all that choline. You're like, wait. What did you say to me? I'm calling BS on that. You know, I got that choline running through my brain.
Oh, gosh.
I think that's what it comes down to. Sure. It is a mechanism of control, and controlling the food supply is a big part of this, right? What you consume on social media and on the TV and on the radio every day. I got your mind going, and then I'm feeding you crap, making sure that what you're eating isn't as good as it should be. And then your body's feeling kind of sick. So this thing isn't firing as well as you need it to fire. Next thing you know, you have a controlled population.
Yep.
That wants to fight their neighbor over nothing, when the people that are actually perpetrating crimes on you they don't even get touched,
Yeah, we have a issue with morals in the country as well. It's like the lowest it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
So I was speaking to a lawyer last night about these issues with the county. And I just said, I've been transparent throughout this whole thing. I talked to somebody else from the county. I have this meeting coming up. We might get it pushed, whatever, with all the district heads of all the county departments about what I'm doing on my farm. And I got recommendation from somebody in the county to just say this, it's not a lie, but just don't be so transparent. And I was talking to the lawyer and I was like, tell me what I'm doing wrong, right? Because I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Maybe we sue the county, maybe we don't, I don't know. But she said, these people aren't used to honest people. I invited them all to my farm. I said, this is what I'm doing. Can you name a law that I'm breaking? I don't want to break the law. I want to work with you people, right? Which is against my very being. I just want to hammer them. But I decided to play the game anyway. And yeah, she told me this last night. She said, they're not used to people being so transparent. They're used to people trying to circumnavigate the rules, get 10 chickens and then have your sell them to your neighbor once and say, hey, I have a receipt for eggs. I'm now paying ag tax. This is what they are used to.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get somebody that is my whole farm's transparent, I'm transparent with the county. I don't, tell me what I got to do. What form do I need to fill out? What permit do I need to pay? Okay, I do it because it's in the grand scheme of things, I think I'm doing the right thing. So it's not that big of a deal for me to pay for a $200 building permit. It's illegal, but I'll play the game. I don't care. And yeah, that's what she told me.
That is wild.
So now
I don't know what to do with you.
Yeah, now I understand their county position a little bit better because they've been burned so many times by trying to at least rope some crazies in. You get what I mean? So like you mentioned earlier, I'm trying to see it from both sides, but it's difficult with the government.
That's
because
sad, man.
Yeah.
They have no idea what they're doing, these people. No idea. And a lot of them are like, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
Like I try and have a moral conversation with them. Like they came to my farm trying to shut some stuff down. And I said, what are we doing, guys? What are we all doing here right now?
Yeah.
You know, what are we doing? I think on camera, I said, this is the most un-American thing that I've ever been a part of. You know,
Yeah.
And
it was over a pole barn to sell my neighbor's eggs. You know, they were like, had something to say about it. And I was like, this is not the America that like my boys died for.
Yeah.
You know, I can't have this. I can't live in this America, but I'm trying to still work with them because
I mean, it's the construct, right?
Yeah, right.
And it's hard to operate outside the construct right now. I don't, it's so unfortunate too. Like that's very poignant right there, that people are not used to integrity, right?
Sure.
They're like just used to dealing with people that are trying to be shiesty. So they treat you like crap because because you're displaying integrity. Be like, what is this dude up to? You know?
Right.
That is.
They think I'm trying to do something that I'm not.
Yeah, that's a sad
But this is why I
realization.
invite them to the farm. We had a big meeting with all the senior representatives, all their cameras, you know, taking pictures everywhere.
Yeah. You think that the big food operations are going to let you do that? You better make an appointment.
There's farms down the road from me. I know these people, they're good people, but you can't get on their farm, security guard. So you can't see where your food comes from without meeting security.
Well, I mean, and even if you go to these million chicken operations, you think you're going to get on that farm?
Exactly. Yeah.
You think you're going to go in there and all these like industrial, you know, meat processing places, you think you're going to get on there whenever you want and they're going to be fully transparent about it? No, they're not.
So the government isn't transparent, corporations aren't transparent, and then young people look to these successful people, right, that aren't transparent at all. So innately, culturally, we become less transparent, right? And then you essentially just get a bunch of people that are lying about everything, like all of our marketing and food and marketing and everything in general, you know?
Yeah.
Man, God forbid, bro. Like this operation of Achieve the Lifestyle and PharmaPhobic, I think this is built on principle, right? Before I utter a single word of nonsense and lies here, right? I'd rather just pack this whole thing up.
Yeah, 100%. Same with my farm. Same with my farm.
I can't. It's and I don't know how people do it so easily, right? Now, do you think that's an upbringing thing? Do you think that's a learned thing throughout life? Like when your need for integrity and transparency in your farm, where do you think that came from?
I read a book by a hedge fund manager called Ray Dalio. I forgot what the book is called, but he talks about radical transparency. Then I also read a book called Lying by a neuroscientist from Stanford named Sam Harris.
What's the name of the book?
Lying.
Okay.
He breaks it down logically pretty well. I mean, away from like I think you can get it from religion, but I'm not sure that exactly saves you, right? So some people need like a logic driven, and he does a pretty good job with it. Yeah. So I read those in my early 20s, and then I guess it took me some time to kind of grow into like completely transparent, and the farm really helps with it. And then I saw a lot of farmers be extremely transparent, and it takes a lot of effort, but it's just better and it feels right. So I just continue it.
Yeah.
You know,
I was just thinking transparency feels right.
It's an easier way to live.
Right. Well, because if you've had any sort of situation where, whether it was your, upbringing, a job, military, whatever, where nobody's been fully transparent for you, and then you've suffered the consequences of that, it's not hard to then demand transparency with everything else. I think one of the biggest things in the medical field is there's a move towards transparency. One of the most recent things I think is transparency of cost, because you had this hospital charging this much for this test, but over here it was this much for this test, but you don't know until you get it done. You could get a cardiac catheterization and spend $20,000, where if you went down the street, maybe you spent $5,000, because there's no transparency. So people get really taken advantage of with that. And that doesn't feel good on an innate level. So transparency just feels right.
That's insane.
Is the government transparent? No.
And
so
every day they move in the opposite direction.
And
of
what are people
transparency.
calling for from any, whether it's your government, your boss, your superior, you're calling for transparency. You want I want to know why, you know? And so it makes sense.
It's in our nature. I think, like, you know when people constantly hide stuff and lie, and you know, we've all lived crazy lives.
Sure.
Like, I've hidden stuff and lied
me
in
too.
the past
Yeah, of
as
course.
well.
Yeah, same.
And now I look back at it and I'm completely embarrassed, even though the stakes were nowhere near as high as feeding people the right stuff, right? Or making people sick with what you're putting in the food or the pharmaceutical products. Nowhere near as high as that. But that never, I look back at it, I was like, man, that just didn't sit right. And it kind of brings chaos to the situation when you're constantly hiding stuff, right?
Because transparency brings forth truth and facts. And like I've said a million times, facts don't have feelings. So sometimes facts can hurt your own feelings.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people want to avoid that.
Insane circumstances. Going back to it, military-wise, is there any experience that you had, you know, over there that really kind of just shaped the rest of your time and transitioning out of the military?
When you're farming and all the chickens are running around, you're like, this is Wall Street, or this is the military.
Or when
like,
you
I
were
got
in
this.
Wall Street, like something that you were like, man, that day, you know, this thing, that was harder than whatever I'm doing now. So let me just get busy.
Yeah, the farm isn't even close to as hard.
Yeah.
And I work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot. Well, there's a story about transparency. My second deployment, I had my own squad, and we did a clearing op on the other side of the Helmand River, the west side of the Helmand River. I think we operated on the east primarily, and there was tons of Taliban propaganda, and we ended up taking some detainees, and I called that over the radio, and they said, give them to the local Afghan army or Afghan police and send us coordinates. There was like tons of poppy, and at the time, if you were growing poppy, you were working with the Taliban, and we found Taliban propaganda. So usually we take detainees and give them to human intel guys to do whatever they do with them and get some information. And I wasn't allowed to do that. And then during the debrief, all sorts of people were there. And I remember I said detainee over the radio, and they said, don't use that word over the radio. And I was like, all right, things are already shady, because we were there for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, me and my boys just guarded Taliban poppy for 3 days. And then during the debrief, I was like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, like getting blown up and getting shot at, and like, what is going on? You know, now I can't take detainees.
So you were just
crazy.
sitting like on a patrol base on top of in a poppy field for 3 days?
No, we were moving from a patrol base across the river to do some clearing operations. And then we would set up essentially 4 vehicles and then sleep in the middle. And then this was like in the desert. And then we would patrol into the green zone and do these clearing operations, and then go back there to sleep at night. And shortly after that, they took my billet as a squad leader and then put me in like a really shitty post doing security for a large base's posts, essentially.
Like a roving guard?
Yeah. So the last 3 weeks of my deployment, I just did that. So they pulled me out of my platoon just for asking a question.
Why didn't they want detainees said over the radio? This has me really curious.
I don't know. Why wouldn't they answer my question? Single question. Single question.
I'm going to throw something out there because you mentioned the poppy field. Supposedly, allegedly, Afghan poppy is like the highest quality of poppy.
Sure.
You know, we're talking heroin producing, you know, opiate poppy, right? Opium. It's like the highest quality one in the world. It's like some of the best opium you could grow. And a lot of people throughout the years have reported, you know, when we first went into Afghanistan in the early 2000s, people were just seeing the poppy fields and burning them down, right? Afghans have been farming poppy for a long time. So some people argue like, oh, you're just taking their livelihood. You're just going to piss them off. You're going to give them a reason to join the Taliban, to join Al-Qaeda. Cool. But also, it came to a point where you're protecting an asset for somebody else. You know, the theory being that like the pharmaceutical companies were coming in and scooping that up, all that opium for their little products, if you will.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't dive that deep down the rabbit hole, but it was definitely shady.
Yeah.
So then I have an experience like that. And then if you fast forward, I don't know, 15 years, here we are with my farm, like fully transparent.
Yep.
Like you said, experience.
Yeah.
So
Was this deployment, was that after? I know you had like a TBI type experience.
Yeah.
Was this after that?
that was after that. Yeah. Yeah.
How
That
was
the
that?
second deployment?
The
TBI?
Yeah, like healing from that. Did that take you a while? Did you
Back
feel
then, I
normal
don't even
going?
think that they had much to say about
didn't know.
TBIs.
09,
No.
they didn't know.
So it
anything
was
about
like, what do you always say? Take a knee, drink some
yeah,
water.
drink some water, pull security.
Yeah. Change your
You're good.
socks.
Yep, you're good to go.
Change your
Powder your
socks and
feet.
drink some water. Yeah.
You're good
That's
to go,
it.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it was. I think they gave me like 24 hours off and then I was on patrol the next day.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Did you feel different from that? I know you said your health kicked in.
Oh yeah.
after that.
Right after that, I mean, I like quit smoking and started getting my mom to ship me like canned vegetables. I didn't know a lot about nutrition back then. So I was like
Well, you
eating
moved in the
vegetables
right
is eating
direction.
vegetation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just, I'm on vegetables, but let me get some metal toxicity. It's fine.
I have that sit in a can for how many years?
In the heat too.
In the heat. Yeah.
Flying
I mean, I didn't know, right? I didn't know a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, canned vegetables are probably going to be better than whatever the
Right.
beef and
MREs
the
for sure.
MREs are
Yeah.
kicking in,
100%.
you know?
100%.
And it's funny that shook you into health,
Yeah.
whereas a lot of people tend to go, sadly, a lot of people that experience TBIs tend to go in the opposite direction.
That just blows my
they
mind.
start drinking more.
We're all
that sort
human
of thing.
beings. We're all human beings. But yet, a big major event like that can shake you into health, but somebody can have a heart attack and that doesn't shake them into health. Like, I know numerous people who've had open heart surgery. They have the scar down, they've had their sternum like cracked open, but they still smoke. And so
Alcoholics that have crazy
Yeah,
life
it's like,
experience and
what-
they keep drinking.
My dad and my
what
stepdad,
is that? You know?
Both of them,
both of them,
they dealt with that.
they both died from alcoholism.
And
yeah.
you could, this is
To
where
that point,
Yeah, they both drank themselves to death.
wow.
Yeah.
Man.
that's a painful.
Yeah,
My
Painful
real
death.
father he was in hospital with some kind of liver condition from drinking. And then they said, if you drink again, you will die.
Yeah.
he did.
And then he did. Yeah. My stepdad was a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like 50 some years old, generally healthy.
It's young.
Yeah.
But it's just,
Does that inform your views on alcohol?
No, I'll drink like a glass of wine or a beer every once in a while. I mean, beer is pretty high in glyphosate, I just learned, and not good for
Makes
if it's an
sense.
IPA,
testosterone.
especially if it's an
Makes
IPA.
sense.
Yeah. So I just learned this recently. So I've kind of like dialed it back on the beer. I don't really, when I say I drink, it's like a couple times a year, you know,
That's
Do you
glass
find-
of wine on a date or
But
something
do you-
like that.
Yep.
I don't really, I'm not like,
why do you
Drinking
avoid it
monthly.
generally?
oh, I think I drank so much in my 20s. For one, like if I drink 3 beers, for sure I'm hungover for 2 days.
Okay.
For
So
sure.
the way it makes you feel.
So, and then I live a very healthy lifestyle. Like my circadian rhythm is unbelievable. My sleep is unbelievable
Yeah, you're up
because
with
I'm
that.
outdoors all day.
Yeah.
I watch every sunrise and every sunset.
Yeah.
You know, so and that doesn't fit into that at all.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah,
So-
you got to be up early AF too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you got me curious because I don't sleep well.
Okay.
And I haven't slept well since my first deployment. And I
Sure.
always tell people it was just this marked difference between how I slept before and then. And it it's not nightmares. It's not anything of that nature. It just, maybe I was exposed to something environmentally
Sure.
that just changed me completely how I sleep. And I mean, it was literally the day after I got back where I was just like, oh, something's not right. And now to hear you, because most veterans complain about having
yeah.
sleep issues, but
I
you're
cracked my
like, "Oh, no."
sleep.
I'm like, I got this down. I'm like, man, maybe I need to be doing some of that, you know?
Well, I think there's a plethora of, there's like the umbrella of PTSD symptoms.
Mhm.
You've got to crack each one individually. So you can do anxiety with like meditation or exercise. I mean, that you guys are already doing, eating healthy, obviously, not spiking your blood sugar. If you have less anxiety, I think generally you'll sleep better.
Mm-hmm.
No caffeine past 2 I mean, I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning time now. And then also I generally think being outside is probably the biggest kicker.
Yep.
Like I'm outside all day. And when the sun goes down, I'm like last night in bed 8:30.
Yep.
Set an alarm for 5, woke up at 4:30, 8 hours of sleep. Deep REM sleep, multiple dreams every night. Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
hey.
But I think it's because I'm outside. I'm also touching. I don't want to get too woo-woo. I got very woo-woo on the farm.
Grounding.
Yeah. I touch the earth every day. And I'm generally pretty physical throughout the day. So I'm tired at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I know you guys exercise a lot. But I think walking
not to
also, like
the-
human beings walked forever.
Yeah.
Barefoot on the ground.
Not to the degree.
Yeah.
And that's complete. It's different when you're touching earth like that and
Right.
you're grounded. You know, like the this isn't woo woo. This is science. This is real.
I agree
know,
with
like
you.
the
I just don't know
electrical
how.
exchange between
Sure.
the earth and the body and all that stuff. I mean, this is stuff that is verifiable scientifically, right? People are like, shut your mouth. This is real stuff. And I mean, and you're kind of living proof of it, man. A VA hit Jake up. And so you get
I
some
want to start a
veterans touching
veteran
some soil,
nonprofit on
man.
the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
Just
talked
to
about
get him
that last time.
outdoors.
Yeah.
I've had so many issues with the expansion in the county that I just don't have time, but hopefully we can get it launched because I think it would help. We got mats. I bought Polga's old mats.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So you can like come to the farm, get your hands in the dirt,
And
get
then
in the
roll.
sun, train some jujitsu.
There's a
Let's see if the county lets me build a bunkhouse.
Oh, that would be
If you guys are
awesome.
listening, you know, it's a good cause.
Yeah.
Don't dodge
you
me on
start a
the
veteran
bunkhouse.
charity, that would help so many people. Because part of, transitioning here into that, like leaving the military, part of the issues that I see with veterans that they're sick, right? Like a lot of guys, if you ever go to VA for whatever reason and you walk those halls, these dudes are sick,
Yeah,
man.
it's bad.
And, I'm looking at some dude who might be 50 pounds overweight now, but 20 years ago, he was a 300 plus PT stud,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he just got out and he stopped, or this guy was like this phenomenal shooter or this, kicking down doors in like it was, and now he doesn't have that purpose. And there's a complete
apart.
loss of direction. And with it, your health goes. You have no more purpose. You have no more like structure. And your health starts declining, and they have all these ailments that nobody knows how to solve
Because a lot of
other than by throwing pharmaceuticals at them.
Well, a lot of times they're asking, they want to ask for help, they don't know how to. You see this a lot with World War I, World War II veterans, to where they connect physical symptoms with receiving attention and help.
Mhm.
Oh, I have chest pain. Okay, they're going to tend to me. I have this, they're going to tend to me. But I don't know how to ask for help because I don't feel right since I left being deployed.
Yeah. I think with the World War II guys, even the Korean War guys, like my grandfather,
What did they call PTSD back then?
a shell shock.
Shell shock, yes.
But a lot of those guys, there's multiple theories, right? They deployed slowly and came back slowly. So you went on a ship and spent months almost to get to theater, and the same thing coming back. So there was a big decompression time. And people compare that to the days of old, like, this tribe goes to battle. And then at the end of the day, they're all the warriors around the fire kind of talking about it for a little bit before they go back to their village, right? So that's one thing. Slow to deploy, slow to come back and reintegrate. And a lot of those guys came back and they just went back to work immediately, and they kind of sunk themselves into whatever jobs they were doing.
Which
and
was
careers
more,
that they adopted, and they found purpose quicker than some of the guys.
but it was
now.
also, I would say, the jobs at that time were more labor.
Yeah,
Correct.
they
They
had
were more
factories,
blue-collar.
paper mills.
Life
Yeah.
is harder.
Yeah, life was
Right.
harder, and even
Life's
the
supposed
guys.
to be hard.
Yeah.
Yep, it
I
is.
don't know why we're all chasing like easiness and happiness. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the happiness comes from the challenge.
Fulfillment
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
more responsibility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've said it here before. We're not meant to live unopposed.
Yeah.
Like this life where you're like, oh, I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have any stress. Sure, there's plenty of guys with lots of trust fund that inherited money out there that end up, killing themselves because they have nothing to do, no purpose, nothing. And they have every resource available to them. And yet they still find a way to be miserable.
I think
Whereas dudes that are constantly challenged, tend to have more fulfillment out of life because they're constantly overcoming something.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the veteran issue is a two-part issue. One is, I don't know that we service PTSD in the right way.
No.
Like if you go to war and you expect to come back okay, like I don't, this is like the lost, right? So I think when you tell somebody like something's wrong with you, then they believe that something is wrong with them. If you think about it, if you like break your leg, then you should expect to not walk for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And same with going to war. If you experience that, then you should expect some issues. And if you expect the issues, you can like handle each one of them one at a time.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't teach it like that. We teach it as if you've got some kind of ailment that needs to be cured by something, or you just need some time and to just focus on each issue individually. And the second one is identity. So many guys, I meet up with guys all the time. I'm in group chats, same war stories, 15 years. Like I don't talk about it. I generally just talk about the farm, right? Unless somebody asks me a question and then, okay, I have some answers. But yeah, I think their identity gets so wrapped up into that. And then that is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these guys were awesome Marines, like the best. And they can't let that go, right? So now I am Jake the farmer. And I did that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And even old guys are like, once a Marine, always a Marine. I love this. I love the Marine Corps. I'm not questioning that, but that was a long time ago for me. 15 years, I was a different person.
Mm-hmm.
If you put a machine gun in my hand and told me to raid a country right now, I'd be like, I'm good. I'm going back to the farm. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm good. Not that I don't want to defend the country. I did my time. There's some young bull that will go do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Now,
well, I also think that if the need were to arise and it was dire, like somebody,
like locally, like
you'd have to like
actually
invade the country. Okay,
Yes.
but I have guns. I don't need to join anything.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but you would do it because you have the capability and you also are a good person. So
Sure.
you would, if the call came, you would.
100%.
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
But also being on the farm, I think you're exercising some of the responsibilities, the skills, the tactics or whatever you used as a Marine, but maybe at a different level.
For sure.
And listen
So
to
you
what you're
still
saying.
have that purpose.
Yeah, this came full circle because you transcended that identity, right? But you took the lessons and you apply them and you use them in farming, but you're like, I've outgrown that person of, hey, I'm a Marine, right?
Yeah, I still bring all that stuff with me. My old squad leader just came to the farm last month and he said, man, it's almost like a little miniature version of the Marine Corps, the way I lead everybody on the farm. Like everybody eats first, everybody's taken care of. And I haven't cut myself a check from the farm.
Yeah.
Ever. You know, I mean, it pays all of my bills, but other than that, I've never taken a paycheck from the farm. And I think we employ like 8 people now. And I'm for sure every Monday, everybody gets paid. So all of the money comes in and I just dish it out and then there's nothing left for me. But it's like the way I was brought up in the Marine Corps, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that if you take care of your people, then the function as a whole is better.
Yeah.
Mission men than me.
Yeah. Is he local? Your old squad leader? Is he?
No, he's in New Jersey. I'm trying to convince him to come down, but
he's up north.
He's in Jersey, yeah.
And he came down and visited. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He loves it. Now he's coming down every quarter. He was like, I need this for my soul.
That's great.
That's awesome.
He helped me build like a water system for the chickens and all sorts of stuff.
Did he retire from the Corps? What did he end up doing?
No, he's like a blue collar guy now. Yeah.
You see, and that's pretty cool that he comes down. It's like, oh, this guy that I used to get down with. You know, we're different people, right?
Yep.
That's a really good point there. You basically laid it out. It's like, yeah, I'm not this person anymore, but I'm applying the lesson. So you transcend and include in perfect example of it right there.
You don't have to leave all of it.
No?
You know?
Yeah. It's
bring the good stuff with you.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee
leave the
style.
bad shit.
Yep.
You know?
Bruce Lee style. I think now, in what you said too about how much, you know, you address these issues and then gave yourself a higher quality of life to where you can offset the detriments, right, of being deployed and all the bumps and bruises that you take in the military. That's pretty interesting. And I think that I wish that VA would look at that these holistic ways of dealing with the offsets, right? You got to find purpose. You got to find purpose outside of the military. Like if you were a really good Marine, a really good soldier, a really good airman, whatever, and you hang it up, you have to find something to do that gives you purpose and fulfillment. You can't just live on the, well, I used to be this, badass, right? You can't. It's just not going to end well if you stay there, right? And really that's for veterans, but it applies to everything. Like once you move on, you got to move on, brother. It's over, and then dealing with things in these prioritizing solutions, not just Band-Aids, right? Because I could go to VA and get on Ambien.
Yeah, sure.
Crazy, and they'll give it to me by the buttload.
And you'll be passed out for 8 hours.
And I'll be passed out for 8 hours, but I didn't solve anything, right? But here you are like, oh yeah, my quality of sleep, man. And I'm outside and I do these things and it's helped me. I think taking that approach to solving the issues would help a lot if they wanted to, but that's a different.
Good segue.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we'll end the episode there, guys. We'll come for part 2, post-military, and we'll talk some farming and where we're at. I hope that this is of value to you guys, and definitely listen to what's been said in this episode, because this isn't just about veterans. This is more about life and finding purpose and how that really integrates and plays into your health as well. Anything you want to say in closing? Anything you want to say in closing, Joe?
All good.
No.
Okay.
All right. So they could find us on our website at achievethelifestyle.com. They can email us at info@achievethelifestyle.com or hit us up on Instagram at achievethelifestyle.
In the DM. That's where it go down. Guys, till the next episode, stay pharma-free. Thanks for listening to the PharmaPhobic podcast. If you found this conversation interesting, which I know you did, make sure to follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And also make sure to check us out on Instagram at Achieve the Lifestyle. And if you're interested in pursuing a stronger, healthier, more capable version of yourself, check out our website at achievethelifestyle.com.
The PharmaPhobic podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not constitute medical, legal, or professional advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making any medical or wellness decisions. While we discuss pharmaceutical, holistic, and alternative health topics, our content is not a substitute for professional medical guidance.